23 years ago, in the midst of a scorching Chicago summer, Clara Martins, 24, disappeared after her late-night diner shift, plunging her family into despair. Authorities soon zeroed in on her former boyfriend and a fellow waiter. But without a body or solid proof, the probe hit a wall. Still, over those long years, Sarah's parents held on to faith, burning candles each August, holding fast to the slim chance that answers would one day emerge. Then, an unforeseen find in Lincoln Park uncovered a vital clue that had been missed by all. A clue so compelling it upended the whole investigation and stunned the Chicago neighborhood. Before we jump into this jaw-dropping tale, drop a comment below letting me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're hooked on these stories, smash that subscribe button to support the channel. It's the best way to show your love and keep more coming your way. On August 12, 2001, Chicago, Illinois, simmered under the muggy, oppressive heat of summer, its avenues still holding the day's warmth long into the evening. The city thrummed with energy, vehicles rushing past, glowing signs from corner stores, cafes, and advertisements illuminating the slick sidewalks after a brief dusk shower. Clara Martins, a 24-year-old waitress at a cozy downtown diner, wrapped up a shift at 10 p.m. throughout the day. She had served patrons with warmth, refilled coffees, and managed orders, her friendly and efficient style winning over her colleagues. That night, as always, Sarah cleared her station, organized her tips, and flipped the closed sign before heading out. She walked purposefully from the diner, her blonde hair in a ponytail, dressed in a plain blue uniform, toting her usual red backpack. Before catching the bus, she fished out her flip phone to ring her mom. The time was 10:15. Over the din of the streets, Sarah's voice reassured, "I'm heading home now." Her mother, a bit eased, had no clue this was the final time she'd hear from her daughter. That evening, the bus stop near Millennium Station was packed. Throngs of commuters milling about, their chatter mixing with the screech of arriving buses echoing through the underpass. A few remembered spotting a young woman with blonde hair, slim build, lost in the crowd, but nobody saw her board or leave. Sarah faded away quietly, as if engulfed by the swarm of faces and the city's stifling warmth. By 11 p.m., when Sarah hadn't made it home as expected, her family's concern escalated to panic. Her parents dialed her phone relentlessly, greeted only by the lifeless tone of it being powered down. Every ticking second dragged like eternity, terror flooding their modest Wrigleyville home. Her mom paced anxiously, staring at the clock, while her dad contacted Sarah's acquaintances, but no leads surfaced. Overwhelmed and gripped by a grim foreboding, they phoned 911 by midnight, alerting the Chicago PD that their daughter had gone missing in suspicious conditions. That night, a heavy pall of fear spread from the Thompson family's cozy dwelling to the surrounding blocks. Sleep evaded everyone in the house. Sarah's mom lingered by the window, peering into the shadowy street, yearning for her daughter's silhouette. Her dad made call after call, to pals, workmates, even far-off kin, but silence reigned. Around 1:30 a.m., CPD officers showed up. 2 seasoned cops with notepads, radios, and serious demeanors. They recorded every bit the family shared: Sarah's attire, her regular bus path, the 10:15 call. Those early jottings would anchor the inquiry. That very night, cops and relatives scoured the area and spots near Millennium Station. Police cruisers' flashing lights stirred the neighborhood. Curious residents donned jackets, emerged onto stoops to ask, and upon hearing of Sarah's vanishing, pitched in. Hurried searches and shouts pierced the humid Chicago night. A canine team was summoned. The dogs, given a sweater from home, perked up at Sarah's unique aroma, darting around the station's entrance, tugging fiercely toward the east side. Hearts raced. But at the station's edge, the hounds halted, sniffed circles, and whined, trail gone cold. The scent dissolved at the threshold, overrun by countless passers-by. The following dawn, CPD produced flyers featuring Sarah's image, her vibrant face and kind grin. Beneath, stark words: "Missing, Clara Martins, 24. Officers, buddies, and helpful locals posted them on poles, transit shelters, and shop fronts. Sarah's mom, with shaky hands, distributed them to strangers, pleading softly, "Have you seen my girl last night?" Many declined, but compassionate nods reduced her to sobs. Meanwhile, investigators pored over surveillance tapes from Millennium Station. In a dim room with aging screens, they scrubbed through footage. Suddenly, a fuzzy clip surfaced. At 10:25 p.m., a slender woman with blonde hair in a blue top exited the station. Next to her, a burly man in a black coat with a bulky satchel hovered indistinctly. The video was too unclear for IDs. But when the family viewed it, Sarah's mom broke down, affirming, "That's her. That's Sarah." Her dad balled his fists, face drained. From then, the probe pivoted. This wasn't merely a disappearance anymore. In CPD minds, a hypothesis took shape. The young lady departed the station oddly with an unknown person and then evaporated. The hunt intensified: foul play, possible kidnapping or assault, now formally on the table. Patrols spread out, probing side streets, garages, and pubs around Millennium Station. Yet in the city's humid frenzy, they unearthed only quietude, yielding no clues. And if this gripping start has you on the edge of your seat, show your support by commenting where you're watching from and hitting subscribe. It's how we keep bringing you these intense stories. By day 2, with overnight sweeps near Millennium Station fruitless, CPD broadened the effort. Vast maps unfurled on desks, pins denoting zones to canvas. The squad divided. One group hit adjacent green spaces, notably Lincoln Park, infamous for minor crimes and evening muggings. Another inspected secluded lots and derelict buildings, while a dive unit geared up to scan the Chicago River and nearby waterways. Choppers hovered, beams slicing through foliage and vacant areas, rousing locals with unease. That evening, lights skimmed the river's rippling waves like endless seekers. But the waters stayed serene, divulging nothing. In Lincoln Park, scores of officers advanced in formation, torches delving into shrubs and towering oaks. The expansive park, typically for runners, turned into a somber sight. Volunteers in bright vests assisted, calling Sarah's name, praying for a breakthrough. Only insects and the heavy August air replied. Trash like wrappers, discarded garments, even a stray boot were bagged, tagged, and examined. But initial tests linked none to Sarah. In hidden garages, cops checked forsaken vehicles. Creaky doors forced ajar, lights sweeping musty insides for stains, strands, or fight signs. Again, zilch connected to Sarah. Meanwhile, scrutiny mounted. Media latched onto the narrative. Sarah's flyer pics splashed across nightly broadcasts. A youthful woman, warm smile, lost in a bustling metropolis. Journalists besieged the Thompson home, mics extended as Sarah's mom implored tearfully, "If you know something, come forward. My girl can't just disappear." The airing rattled Chicago. Folks chattered endlessly. Some vowed hearing a dispute by the park that night. Others alleged seeing a woman dragged into a shadowy vehicle, but clashing tales couldn't confirm. CPD handled hundreds of tips in 48 hours, largely fuzzy. Each was logged, then dismissed post-verification. The widened hunt persisted, defined by routine locales, lines inching through parks, aerial sweeps lighting the heavens, and the Thompson family lingering mutely by the station house. But ultimately, naught. No blood, no items, no credible observer. Sarah appeared to have dissolved, leaving a massive enigma and a locale seized by dread and irritation. By day 4, sans breakthroughs, the press queried, "Can CPD crack this, or will it vanish into limbo?" Dramatic titles arose. Young waitress vanishes in Chicago. Police stymied. Societal strain burdened the unit. In the tight 11th District conference space, officers traded looks, aware that lead scarcity might sully their rep. A week post Sarah's vanishing, as Chicago's anxiety swelled, a brief glimmer morphed into profound terror. That afternoon, a Lincoln Park jogger phoned CPD, claiming to spot a woman's wallet in an overgrown lot. Upon arrival, gazes locked on the tiny object amid foliage and rubble. As hoped, inside sat Sarah's license and her diner badge. Oddly, money untouched, nixing theft. The wallet was encased in evidence, the lot taped off for combing. As cops searched, a grimmer discovery arose. By a remote dumpster, a shredded plastic sack held a wrinkled blue diner uniform, matching Sarah's last outfit. The sleeve bore a rip, and lab pros spotted reddish blood spots on the cloth. All was gathered, catalogued, and secured. A senior cop grumbled, "Somebody dumped this to erase tracks." The vibe turned dense with strain. CPD amplified the hunt around the lot. Muddy prints snapped. Faint skid marks on concrete recorded. Another crew pulled footage from adjacent structures. Much was hazy, but a 12-second segment from a deli cam proved key. It depicted a slim woman with blonde hair in blue beside a burly man in a black coat with a hefty bag, striding tight. The shot too grainy for faces, but sufficient for the Thompsons to weep, verifying Sarah. The man's role redirected the probe. In the 11th District's compact huddle room, detectives laid out the video freeze, outlining the vague shape. An officer noted, "If he's innocent, why disappear with Sarah and toss her uniform?" They realized they'd grasped the inquiry's pivotal element. Word spread swiftly. By morn, banners screamed, "Lost girl's wallet, uniform found, mystery man seen." Press conjectured on the man's ties to Sarah. Chicagoans whispered, some asserting sightings of a man in a black coat by the station, though faces eluded recall. For the Thompsons, the find was dual-edged. Optimism from a firm trail, agony from the stained uniform implying peril from the outset. Sarah's mom lounged in the den, grasping a snapshot of her in uniform, quivering fingers tracing evidence pix marks. She cried quietly for investigators. Intensity peaked. Pinning the man in black became top task. CPD combed offender logs around Lincoln Park, eyeing males with assault, stalking, or loitering histories near transit. The roster lengthy, but no quick hits. The fuzzy video mocked their tries. The day's log stated, items recovered, wallet intact, bloodied uniform, CCTV visual of Sarah with unknown male. Case reclassified, probable abduction/assault. No longer a plain missing, the wallet and uniform steered the probe anew, with an enigmatic outsider casting shadows and a grim reality Chicago dreaded confronting. From the wallet, stained uniform, and hazy CCTV, CPD started pinpointing figures from Sarah's circle. Detective Maria Ruiz, scanning dossiers, highlighted Jason Hale, Sarah's ex-partner. Their romance ended months prior, but pals painted Hale as volatile and possessive. A workmate informed cops that post-split, Hale loitered in the diner lot for hours, seemingly spying on Sarah. His rap sheet included bar scuffles and a road rage bust. Cops couldn't dismiss a lethal clash. Hale was hauled to the 11th District for grilling. He showed up annoyed, protesting, "I had nothing to do with it." Quizzed on August 12th, he said he was at a Cubs game in Wrigley with buddies. Ruiz pressed for evidence. Hale showed a stub and named pals. Probes checked arena cams and calls, solidifying his alibi. Yet his brusque attitude and shifty glances prompted cops to jot. Alibi holds, but watch for slips. Hale walked free, but stayed flagged for inconsistencies. The next suspect was Luis Gonzalez, Sarah's diner colleague. In his late 20s, Gonzalez faced a prior gripe from a female staffer for unwanted advances, though no action taken. Sarah had shared with a friend about his creepy vibes. To authorities, he posed a risk, especially vanishing after her shift. Gonzalez was quizzed mid-shift. He complied, appearing shaken by Sarah's weak absence. He asserted working 8 p.m. to midnight on August 12th. Diner cams placed him at the counter at 10:15 when Sarah phoned home. Colleagues backed him. Ruiz conceded his alibi airtight, hindering further doubt. With Hale and Gonzalez off the hook, the squad felt jammed. Clearing the duo meant the man in black might be an utter unknown, overlooked before. Hey, if this twist in the investigation has you riveted, take a quick second to comment where you're watching from and subscribe to the channel. Your support means we can dive deeper into more cases like this. The lead detective's report noted, Hale's Wrigley alibi confirmed. Gonzalez's diner footage verifies shift. Both provisionally cleared awaiting DNA or fresh tips. The Thompsons, updated, felt ambivalent. Sarah's mom relieved her girls knowns weren't culprits, but shuddered at the notion. If not them, who? A random predator? The concept amplified the area's disquiet. In the 11th District's huddle space, the CCTV frieze rested on the desk. The man in black's hazy visage, a taunting ghost. Ruiz eyed it, sensing the shift. Close ties no longer central. An enigma lurked in the metropolis. Before departing, she appended to the dossier, Hale/Gonzalez under subtle surveillance. Man in black. ID imperative. The inquiry swerved into fresh ground where proof alone would unveil reality. With Hale and Gonzalez sidelined, focus sharpened on the bloodied diner uniform from the Lincoln Park lot. Ripped and grimy, it held promise. CPD's forensics dissected every thread and blot. Under lenses, reddish patches clarified. After hours, specialists deemed it human blood, not solely Sarah's, but blended with unfamiliar male DNA. For the first since her loss, cops possessed bio-proof fingering a perp. Ruiz's crew promptly sought DNA from Hale and Gonzalez. Hale, revisited, gave blood and swabs. Gonzalez griped but obliged. Days on, outcomes absolved them. No match. Rather than tightening, this widened the void. The man in black wasn't acquainted, but a stranger imprinting the evidence. Optimism mixed with 2001's tech constraints. Databases lagged for full profiling via CODIS. The lab merely affirmed male sample, insufficient against vast files. A forensics pro reported, not Hale or Gonzalez, but unidentified. Cops chased alternatives, sifting Chicago and Lincoln Park offender files versus the CCTV's vague build. Burly, black coat, satchel. Scores quizzed. None fit spot on. Each DNA chat renewed letdown. Their prime asset hobbled by era's tech, like a jammed lock. The Thompsons, hearing of the unknown man's blood, shattered. Sarah's mom nearly passed out, querying, "Who is he? Found yet?" Ruiz offered only grim quiet. They knew harm befell Sarah, but his name evaded, a harsh blow for answer-hungry kin. The DNA was archived chilled, saved for progress. For CPD, a iced clue. Sans fresh observers, sharper video, or fitting suspects, the case ebbed. The closing log dryly. Male DNA on victim's uniform mismatches interrogated. Tech can't profile now. Inquiry halted. The phrase sealed the early probe, thrusting the team to impasse. The stained uniform, once hopeful, symbolized time's bounds, tucked in frigid storage like the case. CPD had brushed truth's brink, but the portal stayed sealed till tech evolved. They could merely observe the case chill, the man in black's silhouette overhanging Chicago. 6 months dragged in torturous heft. Weekly, CPD pursued slim tips, chasing Sarah sightings at buses, parks, even Milwaukee. All duds. The CCTV yielded no crisper shots, the sole recollector vague on the man in black sans novel proof or hits. The case deadlocked. In sessions, Detective Ruiz urged expanding beyond Chicago, but budgets and caseloads curbed. Precisely 6 months later, the call was official. Clara Martins's vanishing, now probable killing, shifted to the cold case unit, solvers of lingering mysteries. A bulky binder clipped shut, transferred with bagged proof, the wallet, uniform, CCTV dubs. As the crate moved to shelves, officers masked dismay. "We grasped it, then lost," one sighed. But facts dictated. No fresh intel, the case awaited tomorrow. For the Thompsons, this stung like fresh injury. They rebuffed quietude. Instead, they held vigils on the pavement by Millennium Station, Sarah's last spot. Scores of locals joined, bearing her smiling pics, wax pooling on concrete. Annually in August, the rite recurred, to sustain her tale. Sarah's mom addressed local media. "Stopping means forgetting Sarah. I won't." Yet, despite kin and community's push, Clara Martins's file formally cooled. In CPD's annual wraps, her name listed amid unresolveds. In Lincoln Park, alarm waned, but the man in black's echo persisted in minds. In the Thompsons' modest home, Sarah's spot stayed vacant, each flame a mute wish that truth would rise from obscurity. 10 years post Sarah's loss, her entry lingered on the cold case unit's grim roster. The Thompsons' yearly candles became a poignant Chicago custom. But for cops, a forgotten folder. In 2011, DNA breakthroughs hailed for old samples sparked flicker. Detective Maria Ruiz, now fixed in cold cases, fetched the Clara Martins' 2001 evidence crate. The blue diner uniform in plastic emerged again. Faded and dank, the reddish stains sharp. Ruiz sent the sample to CPD's lab for retest. Experts, mindful of the case's ripple, dove in. They snipped a bit from the sleeve, mixed in solution, ran through new gear. The device churned hours, yielding extensive data. As output displayed, the crew huddled, pulses quick. It reaffirmed male DNA, but fragmented with holes, inadequate for full profile. In essence, 2011's advances couldn't decode the aged, worn DNA. A tech side filing shut, informing Ruiz. Nearer, but not yet. Cody's rejects incompletes. Ruiz gazed at the sealed fabric. She knew this try, like prior, bred hope then crush. But it affirmed, the man in black's mark endured, awaiting tech's leap. In her superior report, Ruiz penned succinctly yet firmly, retain sample, anticipate tech upgrades. The line doubled underscored. A cue for future reviewers. The Thompsons were summoned for news. Sarah's mom, hair silvered, listened mute as Ruiz detailed. She clasped her spouse's hand, nodding weakly. At least it's there. Not vanished. They exited quietly, eyes blending grief and spark that someday Sarah's uniform would name the life ruiner. In the cold case unit, Sarah's matter sank anew, eclipsed by recent. But Ruiz couldn't release. Glancing the storage, eyes on the Thompson-Sarah 2001 box. She believed science would yank it from gloom. Till then, her duty, nurture hope's ember in the unit's chill. In 2021, 20 years after Clara Martins vanished, Lincoln Park, combed endlessly by cops, spotlighted the city once more. On a humid June day, crews fixing a dated sewer line in the park's north dug into earth and gravel. A spade hit solid. A worker crouched, clearing moist soil, and stiffened. A frayed canvas bag corner appeared, seeming to hold bones. The team stopped, alarmed, alerting police. Soon, the zone sealed with yellow tape. CPD forensics arrived, delicately unearthing the bag. Opened, it revealed a near-complete skeleton, twisted oddly. On the ankle, a dulled gold anklet, etched letters visible. Sarah. No doubt, this likely the woman gone in 2001. Buzz spread rapid. Throngs masked park edges. Cameras trained on ops. Residents murmured, many emotional recalling the young lady long ago. Remains ferried to City Lab for scrutiny. Pros toiled overnight, matching bone/dental to stored 2001 hair. DNA perfect align. 72 hours post-find, CPD declared the Lincoln Park bones Clara Martins's. The Thompsons were notified. Sarah's mom fainted in the lobby, eyes blank as if tearless. Her dad steadied his daughter, voice shaky. At least we know her location. The forensics detailed horrors. Sarah's vertebrae fractured by force, akin to choking. Death timed to her 2001 loss. No bullets or other wounds, indicating choke kill. Body crammed in bag, interred in remote woods. Bone signs hinted quick, deliberate slaying, not mishap. Publicized, Chicago reeled. The Thompsons' 20-year vigils turned funerals. Folks assembled at Millennium Station, Sarah's vanish point, depositing blooms, picks, candles flickering night-long. We hoped against this, a local told press. But we sensed it coming. For the cold case unit, the find bittersweet, agonizing confirming Sarah's early demise, chance as it gave concrete proof to revive. Detective Maria Ruiz, who noted retained sample, Anticipate Tech in 2011, saw her doggedness possibly paid. She led remains probe. The male DNA from 2001 uniform matched bone/bag traces. Same unknown from Sarah's life/death, but identity mystery. In the file, unknown male DNA archived for future tech taunted. Now, with remains intel, Sarah's case prioritized. Cops knew the key held, but unlock pending. As Thompsons readied burial, CPD swore against fade. Truth evident, Sarah choked the vanished night, body stashed in Lincoln Park. But core queries. Who the man in black? Why Sarah? These fueled the unit into new era where current science might yield 20-year waits. If the emotional weight of this discovery resonates with you, support the channel by commenting your location and subscribing now. Let's keep uncovering these truths together. The city's lab devoted weeks to Lincoln Park proof. Sarah's skeleton, viable for DNA, analyzed beside 2001 uniform from storage. Via cutting-edge extraction, experts clarified 2001 faint marks. Male DNA on uniform and bones like icy proof the slayer touched Sarah's form and garb. With initial gene sketch, team rechecked Jason Hale and Luis Gonzalez. Alibis solid in 2001, but probes re-verify. New DNA versus stored, no match, clearing them. This vindicated two shadowed men, affirming true killer overlooked initially. Hale and Gonzalez told outcomes, relieved yet resentful over doubt years. 4 Thompsons mixed, glad Sarah's circle innocent, but ache intensified, killer faceless. Sarah's dad pressed Ruiz. Who then? How long more? Ruiz replied tech leaped hugely, this round farther than 2001. In cold case unit, big call. Ship unknown male DNA to Parabon, a Virginia lab leading degraded DNA and genealogy. Famed for busting stalled cases, Parabon got the sample secured. Before boxing, Ruiz eyed it, recalling 2001 uniform hold when she could only log male unidentified. 20 years on, she added, to Parabon, ultimate chance. As Crate departed, Squad knew they'd given the case to top U.S. gene sleuths. The huddle room heavy yet hopeful. A fresh cop murmured, "If this flops, maybe never." Silence, but comprehension. That night, as Sarah's remains news Jared community, a short report mentioned CPD's advanced DNA push. Clara Martins's saga, dormant years, resurfaced. Chicago hummed. Thompson's kindled candles, eyes on distant Virginia lab where the 20-year hidden name might surface. At Parabon's Virginia facility, Sarah's and unknown male's DNA arrived secured. In sterile suits under bright lights, techs launched intricate process CPD yearned for a decade back. Proof handled, drawn, boosted, fed to machines decoding worn gene bits. Weeks elapsed as info built full gene image. When complete profile showed, a tech breathed, "His profile's here." First time, the man in black wasn't mere hazy CCTV, but solid gene code. Parabon advanced, loading profile to public genealogy sites like Ancestry and 23andMe, where millions submitted for roots. Days in hits, remote kin to suspects' DNA. Techs rang CPD, relatives found. The term relatives floored the cold case crew. Genealogies might shown. No need perp sample, just a kin's curiosity kit unraveled family to true name. Early roster eyed a wide Milwaukee clan. Odd names popped, mainly second or third cousins. Parabon crafted vast tree over eras, noting possible sibs, aunts, great-grandparents. Each trim narrowed suspects. Detective Ruiz and CPD pros jetted to Virginia for review. On vast wall, tree-branched complex. A tech-fingered lower limb, from data down to 3 siblings. Bennett. Room hushed. 3 names glowed, Robert, James, and Daniel Bennett. All New York born, some near Lincoln Park, early 2000s. For Ruiz, electrifying yet eerie. 20 years, killer's name blank. Now, DNA/genealogy nailed a family. She noted, Bennett siblings, Milwaukee tie. Back Chicago, cold case unit delved Bennett records. James and Daniel led steady lives. One relocated pre-2001. Other in retail, clean sheet. Robert Bennett, 46, in suburbs, flagged. Handyman with busts for rowdiness, harassment, and tavern brawls. He dodged heavy via attorneys or foggy witnesses. Key. He resided near Lincoln Park when Sarah vanished, drawing focus. Ruiz ordered Bennett tail. Small team shadowed weeks, logging habits, contacts, pub stops. In shabby suburban flat, he drove beat-up blue truck for fixes. Days odd jobs, nights bars, cheap ale, bar chat. Oblivious, he ditched soda cans curbside. Team spotted opening. One Friday night, Robert swigged 2 sodas at regular haunt, leaving damp can. As he exited, covert agent gloved grabbed, bagged it. Rushed to CPD lab overnight. Squad edgy. No match. Genealogy crumbles. Days later, in sealed 11th District Room, forensics unveiled. Screens aligned 2 sequences, one from Sarah's uniform/bones, other Robert's can. Perfect fit. No gaps. Odds 99.999%. Quiet descended. Then Ruiz sighed. He's ours. For crew, defining win. After 20 years, man in black named, aged, faced. Robert Bennett, the one marking Sarah, 2001 hazy CCTV figure, free in same city near 2 decades. Shadow in open. With can DNA matching uniform/bones, Cold case unit passed Robert Bennett's dossier. Thick file sketched typical wanderer with violence/harassment trail, yet evading convictions. Courts logged 1997 tavern clash arrest, 2000 neighbor assault on ex, 2004 harassment from female at fix firm. Each proof thin, witnesses backed off or fear muted. Bennett got probation, service, fines, resuming as unscathed. Notably, logs showed he hit a pub near Sarah's diner. Staff dimly recalled burly mid-age in faded black coat corner-sitting, street watching. When cops flashed Robert's pic, nods. Him. Cheap drinks, constant smokes. This backed idea. Robert eyed Sarah while, routine tracked, new August 12th shift end. Revisiting that night, Robert's 2001 Lincoln Park area home lacked alibi. Solo in dingy lease. None vouched 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. cell/bank quiet. Odd void sinking Sarah's vanish. Detectives found chilling. Robert's 2001 address under 3 miles from Lincoln Park, Sarah's hide spot. With truck, he could have hauled her body parkward unnoticed night. With DNA, this void near indirect admit. Maria Ruiz pored hours over file, pages of Bennett's law slips. He's dodged so often, she mused. But not now. Science won't pardon traces. Probe team logged. Assault/harassment passed. Evaded majors. Site link to scene. No alibi August 12, 2001. DNA full match. 4 Thompsons. Robert Bennett's name bred relief/rage. Sarah's dad yelled. Nearby all years. We burned candles. He roamed free. Her mom slumped silent, clutching Sarah's pic. After 20 years, 2001 grainy CCTV shadow had name, age past. Files all, violence, harassment, gaps, painted clear. Robert Bennett slew Clara Martins that 2001 summer eve. After Bennett file deep dive, cold case unit prepped arrest warrant. Proof mosaic. His DNA exact on uniforms/bones. 2001 home, 3 miles Lincoln Park. Alibi void timed to Sarah's loss. Assault/harassment hissed. Detectives taped old pub witnesses near Sarah's diner. They recalled Bennett 2000 to 2001. Solo sitting, eyes unsettling. A server said, he queried young waitress shifts. Memories wove timeline of Sarah targeting. In shut 11th District meet, Detective Maria Ruiz pitched to brass and Chicago DA. Screen flashed proof. 2001 CCTV man in black, stained blue uniform, 100% DNA chart crime to Bennett's can. Map tying old flat to Lincoln Park. Ruiz stated boldly, pieces mesh. No theory, fact. Room taught. All knew Sarah's justice neared after 20 years. Prosecutor greenlit warrant app to Chicago court. 2 days. Judge inked. Paper bold. Arrest warrant. Robert Bennett, murder 2nd degree. Signature granted CPD full nab power. But snaring Bennett type no rush. Violent past, truck/tools, weapons potential, demanded care. Cold case unit synced with CPD tactical for raid. Covert scouts watched his shabby suburban flat weeks, noting morn work exits, eve returns, pub halts, home solo. Neighbors called him prickly, anger quick if bothered. Plan precise. Site. 2nd floor unit in aged stucco on outskirts. Time. Pre-dawn. Least vigilant. Team. Tactical armored, shields, tasers with case sleuths. Goal. Secure Robert Bennett. Seal flat for proof hunt. Foreseen. Armed resist. Back escape. Truck flee. Ops room. Area map out. Ruiz, case pursuer from start, told team. 1 chance. Thompsons waited 20 years. No escape. Room assented, strained yet firm. Raid eve, Ruiz sleepless. Office, eyed Clara Martins's pick. Uniform smiling. Haunting her through dead ends, she murmured, "Tomorrow, Sarah, we fetch him." With plan okayed, all poised. After 20 years, justice geared toward modest suburban flat where man in black shadowed too long. At daybreak on a March 2022 morn, Chicago's suburbs hushed. Fine mist fell, chill creeping cracks. In gloom, CPD poised. Tactical in vests/shields, stealth approached aged stucco where Bennett leased second floor. Command van nearby, dark/silent. Detective Maria Ruiz, case trail from onset, by commander, watch timed. As hand hit mark, radio buzzed. Move, move, move. Boots thumped damp stairs, then booming knock. CPD door. Silence. Commander gnawed. Ram bashed entry. Dim, messy flat-strewn soda cans. Fixed tools. Old black coats. Robert Bennett lurched from bed. Eyes red. Situation dawning as pinned floor ward. Arms wrenched. Cuffs clicked. Robert Bennett, arrested for Clara Martins's 2001 murder. Ruiz's tone cut. No retort space. Hall-filled neighbor yells. Pet barks. Doors peeked. Shocked faces eyeing daily handyman toolbox toting. Now armed cop flanked. Old man opposite gasped. "Lord, here all years." Woman shook head. "He fixed my sink." Insane. Bennett hollered denials. Wrong man. Nothing done. But as dragged, fear flashed eyes. Press alerted. Mobbed out. As cops led Bennett Van Ward, flashes popped. Yells over sirens. Robert, slew Sarah? Knew her how? 20-year secrets? Bennett head ducked, lens dodged, but pick. Messy sleepwear, cuffed, hit news. Hours later, titles. Chicago cold case, busted post, 20 years. Broadcasts Vanderpart. Bennett slumped. Reporters round. Anchor's grave. CPD nabbed Robert Bennett, 46, key suspect in 2001 Clara Martins slaying, haunting Chicago 20 years. At Thompson's Wrigleyville home. News tidal emotion. Dad squeezed wife's hand, choked. Finally nabbed. Mom wept, disbelieving 20-year wait over. Neighbors/friends came. Joy-sorrow mix. Nabbing couldn't revive Sarah, but justice stirred. In CPD, feelings high. Retired sleuths from Sarah's case phoned congrats to Ruiz/cold unit. 1. Doubted this day. Ruiz unrest eyed Sarah's desk pick, whispering, promise kept post 20. Hazy CCTV shadow, man in black station walking with Sarah, now faced. Robert Bennett, plain handyman free Chicago while victim silent under Lincoln Park dirt. But court fight loomed. 2001 summer night secrets to unfold. Post-suburban nab. Robert Bennett hauled to 11th District grill room. Small beige-walled space. Harsh bulb. Steel table core. Opposite. Seats for Detective Maria Ruiz. 20-year case chaser and partner. Uncuffed/seated. Bennett seemed ordinary mid-age. Lean, silvering hair, wrinkled tee, but eyes tense. Ruiz started calm/sharp. Robert, you get why here. He shrugged, faint smirk defiant. Know nothing. Know her. Never met. Minutes, he looped denial. No clue Clara Martins. Insisted cops aired. Thousands black-coated Chicago. Lincoln Park near coincidence. Ruiz unhurried. Open thick dossier, extracting pics. Stained blue uniform, Sarah's etched anklet, map old flat to Lincoln Park. Bennett faked nonchalance, even grinned at uniform shot. Then Ruiz laid color DNA chart. Perfect crime to his can. This you, Robert. You on Sarah. Air waited. Bennett quieted. Gaze averted. Table stared. Fingers drummed slight. Tremor hid. 6 hours grill dragged pressed. Met Sarah where? DNA on uniform why? Lincoln Park night what? Bennett mute or diverted. Time slugged. Clock 4 a.m. Ruiz steady. Composure held. Knew no yell needed. DNA voiced. In heavy lull, Bennett rasped low. Didn't intend her death. Words escaped like lodged spike freed. Ruiz cued partner. All recorders/cams caught syllable. Post-slip. Bennett sealed lips. Regret, said zilch. But enough. Ruiz knew he'd spilled. With Sarah that night. Death no accident. Grill over. Bennett celled. Tape preserved admission. Ruiz solo. I'd dossier. 20 years cracked killer's quiet wall. From breach. Justice light seeped. After Bennett's rasped. Didn't intend her death. Crew knew exploit with iron proof. Ruiz led cold unit/support to rebuild Sarah's August 12, 2001 path, proving Bennett's presence synced not just DNA, but time/place/behavior. Revisited 2001 Millennium Station CCTV. Grainy, but distinct stride. Stocky man, heavy steps left favoring in black coat, lopsided satchel. Behavior forensics called Gate Pro comparing 2001 to recent covert bar exit clips. Result eerie. Bennett's left angle matched man in black. Subtle limp consistent. Near unique trait. Pro ended. CPD remade night timeline. Sarah diner exit 10 p.m. mom call 15 minutes later. CCTV her station 10:25 with man in black. 20 to 25 minutes. K9S lost sent east exit to Lincoln Park area. Bennett's 2001 home/lot. Table map. Red line station to Bennett Old Flat. Direct Lincoln Park. Path 3 miles. 15-minute drive. 40 foot. Ruiz marked. His route. Met Sarah station. Lured/forced out. Likely truck. Took secluded, choked. Bagged/buried. Officers nodded. Faces tight/clear. Last fit. Last fit. To bolster. Forensics rechecked Lincoln Park bag. Fibers grease-stained. Handyman typical. Versus seized suburban tools. Grease-aligned. Circumstantial, but layered pick. Also found 2001 minor log. Woman claimed black-coated mid-age tailed her from Millennium Station, but no harm, filed away. Revisited. Her desk matched Bennett. Not direct, but supported. Stalked women there/then. Ruiz stressed location. Bennett 2001 flat on Station Park line, dodging lit roads, perfect unseen attacker path. Vet cop. Not random. New turf. New dig spot. New hide. Today. Proof like tiles. CCTV. Bennett Gate. DNA exact. Location flat near park. Fizz. Handyman grease. Timeline. Alibi void Sarah vanish. Each reinforced. Airtight. Robert Bennett killed Clara Martins. DA-eyed map. Soft. Unbreakable. DNA nail. But context ironclad. Indeed, DNA solo contestable as tainted. But rebuilt path. Gate match. Nearness. Proof. Witnesses made prosecution bulletproof. Thompson's, shown map red line. Dad touched Lincoln Park pin. Quaking. Her path. He guided to end. Mom cried. Tears relieved. Truth. Once hazy. Now sharp. Post-meet. Ruiz solo. I'd Sarah's board pick. Not mere DNA/reports. Stolen young life miles home. 20-year truth quest. No Bennett denial erased space/time/science evidence. Stronger than confess. With August 12, 2001 route full rebuilt. Clara Martins's dossier went to Chicago DA for pivotal trial. Lead prosecutor, cold murder vet, new weak spot could undo. DA room case hub. Crates held proof. Stained uniform, Sarah's anklet, rotted bag, DNA stacks. Table. 2001 CCTV man in black enlarges. Prosecutor/Ruiz hours reviewed. Needing not accuracy but jury convincing tale Robert Bennett killer. Tactic. DNA core. Bennett profile exact uniform/bones to 2022 can. Science undeniable. Next, spatial. 2001 flat 3 miles Lincoln Park. Direct station burial. Witnesses. Pub staff on Bennett querying young waitress. Woman on black-coated stalker near station. Last, Bennett's grill words. Didn't intend her death. Self-wound in quiet. Indictment crafted careful. Second-degree murder. Illinois law. Max life no parole. Prosecutor. No defense/manslaughter. Deliberate choke. Bennett defense quick. Small presser. Claimed client doomed by contaminable science. Argued uniform 20-year store/multiple tests risk error. Stressed custody chain. Long hold mix-up possible. Prosecution prepped. Independent forensics verify chain. No tamper under strict. Planned Parabon tech testify. Jury explain genealogy cracks U.S. cold cases reliably. Also court narrative. Sarah, 24, humid August eve. Bus home from station. Stalked/coerced by Bennett, violent past. Took secluded, choked. Hid Lincoln Park miles home. Wanted jury feel brutal deliberate kill. Not dry data. Cold unit kept file robust. Re-verifying Bennett home hist. Bills. Old ties for extra witnesses. Detail could fell defense. Trial date set. DA room tense. 2 500-plus pages files. Vids. Pics. Reports scripted case. Prosecutor scanned. 20 years to hear. No slip now. Legal gears turned. One side. Thompson's post-wait prepped C killer judged. Other. Bennett/defense to poke gaps. But with DNA, timeline, witnesses, words, justice brightest shot. Trial launched mid-October 2022. Dawn. Q snaked Chicago courthouse. Reporters city/nationwide rigged cams. Mics jostle. Tickers. Chicago cold case. 20-year justice. Buzz electric. Clara Martins's tale long haunted locale. Doors open. Seats packed. 12 jury solemn. Left. Prosecution table file heaped. Sealed proof. Right. Bennett head low. Grey suit lawyer arranged, hands tight. Behind. Sparse kin mute. Thompson's entered Sarah framed pic on front prosecution row. Mom. Silver hair. Red eyes. Fixed on Bennett. Dad clasped wife's hand. Shaky/resolute. First 20-year face to killer. Prosecutor opened resonant. Justice delayed 20 years. Science. Testimony. Defendant's words prove guilt. Clara Martins silent. But science voices her. Room quiet. Only scribe scratches. First witness. Diner near pub server. Testified 2001 Bennett regular. Cheap ale/smoke solo. Once asked young waitress hours. Chill swept room. Thompson's averted pained. Next. Woman reporting 2001 black-coated station tail confirmed Bennett limp/height her stalker. Not decisive. Added predator profile. Morning climax. Parabon expert testimony. Explained genealogy DNA. Extract degraded uniform/bones. Profile build. Upload ancestry/23andMe. Trace Bennett tree. Screen showed branches narrow 3 siblings. Then Robert DNA confirmed. Odds this DNA crime not perp. 1 quadrillion. Science impossible. Defense objected custody chain. 20-year store contaminate. Prosecution counted 2001 to 2021 seal logs. No tamper. Judge allowed. Strain built as Bennett grill audio played. Raspy. Didn't intend her death. Thompson's sobbed. Mom buried face Sarah Pick. Dad gripped hand white. Jury attentive. Grave. Afternoon. 2001 searchers testified tense nights. K9 sent loss station. Wallet/uniform lot find. Detail wove logical to Bennett. Dusk. Judge adjourned day 1. Press bolted. Eve titles. DNA pro courts stun. Bennett profile 100%. Thompson's exited mute. Eyes Sarah Pick. Legal path long, but first in 20 years. Same room as killer. Justice spoke. On day 3, Chicago prosecution dropped ace. Post-Bennett audio showed full multi-hour grill tape. Hush as Raspy voiced. Didn't intend her death. Raw choke sound, 20-year quiet crack. Thompson's clung. Tears flow. Defense jumped. Claim context lost. Bennett tired/loose talk. Prosecutor firm. 6 hours denied all. Then this. No random. Truth leak. Called surprise. Gray-haired mid-age. Stand nervous. Bennett 2001 neighbor. Testified vanish night Bennett home midnight-ish. Rumpled/dirty. Recall black coat. Muddy bottom. Asked issue. He mumbled, just work. Door slammed. Testimony shattered Bennett last defense. August 12th alibi void now eyewitness filled. Defense. 20-year recall imprecise. Date wrong. Prosecution showed 2001 cop log neighbor state late return. Court buzzed. Jury notes furious. Prosecution rested. Air knife cuttable. 12 jurors erect. Silent. Bennett stared. He sat bowed, fists tight, lips pale. Defeat pose versus early defiance. Thompson's quiet. Eyes red/hopeful. After futile prayers years. Justice near. None voiced, but packed court sensed. Turning point here. Trial peaked. Verdict timed. Post closes. Judge charged, jury deliberate. Heavy door shut. Tense court left. 2 days, 12 reviewed proof. Hazy CCTV. Forensics. Testimonies. Bennett DNA/admit. Debated contam risks. Aged recalls. But concurred Pick no doubt reasonable. Second afternoon. Jury back. Clerk read. We jury, all proof considered, find defendant Robert Bennett guilty second-degree Clara Martins murder. Thompson's sobs burst. Mom clutched Sarah Pick. Tears drop. Dad gripped wife's hand. Eyes shine. Judge gavel. Robert Bennett. Life no parole. Rest life Illinois prison. Adjourned. Gavel echo sealed 20-year hurt. Bennett still, then cuffed/led. Head down, shoulders weighed. Fate accepted. Trial after titles exploded. Nab shocks Chicago. 20-year cold solved. TV Bennett escort clips with locals candlelighting Sarah at Millennium Station. Chicago stunned/relieved. Stunned killer amid them 20 years. Relieved truth out. In Wrigleyville home. Thompson's private right. Sarah Pick table center. White blooms/candles round. Dad whispered. Justice late, but here. Girl rests. Mom-daughter hand. Sarah heard finally. For Detective Maria Ruiz. Verdict closed haunting path. Courthouse out amid press. Thought Sarah old Pick. 20 years back. Logged mail unidentified. Today. Name known. Forever caged. Case ripple lingered. Chicagoans memorialed Sarah Pick's. symbol persistent justice. Media dubbed proof DNA/police/victim kin resolve. In Millennium Station Candles, whispers 2001 summer night dark finally lifted. Clara Martins's story and the 20-year quest to bring Robert Bennett to justice mirror a painful yet hopeful truth in America today. Crimes can lurk for years, but with persistence and scientific advances, justice prevails. The Stained Uniform, sealed in 2001 and decoded fully in 2021, highlights forensic science's power in safeguarding truth. It urges us to value truth and never surrender, even when justice seems asleep. Bennett's interrogation slip, "Didn't intend her death," demonstrates that crimes leave marks and culprits, no matter how long they conceal, eventually let truth escape. The Thompson family's yearly vigils at Millennium Station illustrate community strength and shared memory, transforming private grief into collective determination, sustaining the case. In modern America, with numerous unsolved vanishings and violent acts, Sarah's case imparts lessons on victim families' tenacity, community aid, and trust in scientific evolution to alter fates. Advice for everyone: remain alert to personal security. Mind surroundings and always report oddities. Quiet extends shadows, but a prompt voice can preserve life. If Clara Martins's 20-year justice odyssey touched you and imparted insights, drop a comment with where you're watching from and hit subscribe to catch more tales. Your support via comments and subs keeps this channel thriving. Thank you for sticking to the end. See you next video with more riveting yet uplifting justice stories.